you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram,
Yeah,
because of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, true. He's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the...
While others move to protect their own power and slow the game, 50 Cent moves differently, sharp, fearless, and unstoppable, turning resistance into momentum. In his documentary that is already out, he challenges long-standing industry narratives, including the carefully controlled image around Beyoncé, not with wild claims, but by questioning the systems and alliances that shape public perception. It delivers a clear message. Real power isn't about blocking others, but about exposing influence, shifting the conversation, and demanding accountability at the highest level.
They don't give you the trophies. I got the checks. I didn't get the trophies. Like, Jay got all the trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce. If you don't sign, you don't give him a trophy, she ain't coming. Oh,
the Beyonce done ran down on you once, Fifth. Come on.
She did. Worse, she jumped off the thing, off the ledge. I was like, I didn't really know what to do. That's the Jay. He says to Jay in his face. He'll look at you and go, nah, that happened.
So Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. Oh, she was like on a windowsill.
Right.
It was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped down. She was like, go. And I'm like, wait, what is she doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Don't come on.
So Hov wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped down, came over. I said, oh, look at this.
They about to jump you.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there. I would have had the reboot. Huh? What?
So what did B say, or she was just staring at you?
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like ready. I thought something was going to happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. She's throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond to this. You are still Beyonce. I'm seeing all this stuff going. She goes, what is this case? I'm like, wait, what happened? I look at Jay, he goes.
Tension is mounting as Beyoncé faces the ripple effects of 50 Cent's latest documentary, which exposes long-standing power dynamics and hidden alliances in the industry. The spotlight now reaches those once seen as untouchable, forcing a re-examination of influence, loyalty, and control. With public perception shifting and pressure mounting, the big question looms. Will Beyoncé pivot, rise above the noise, or take decisive steps to reclaim authority over her legacy during this critical moment of industry reckoning?
50 Cent coming out confirming that he does have more dirt on Diddy that he didn't even get to put in the 4 episodes on the Netflix Diddy documentary. And since it's 50 Cent, it's so hard telling what in the world he all has, but he said this in reference to the video footage that he got of the man recording Diddy before Diddy went to jail. And on top of all of this, he said more people came forward to him with allegations that didn't even make it into this Netflix Diddy documentary. And he alluded that he is about to drop this all on YouTube. He sat down to explain some of this on the Sherry show yesterday, and she said, it shocked a lot of people to see this personal footage of Diddy. I know 50, the way you run. This cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that has not been shown? He said, yeah, well, there's some stuff that couldn't make it in because there was only 4 episodes in the Netflix Diddy documentary. And then Sherry asked 50 Cent, does this mean that there's going to be a part 2 of the Netflix Diddy documentary? And he said that he's just going to put it on YouTube. This was not the only time in this interview that this this man said this. Like, he is sure on YouTube for whatever reason, and he was even laughing about it. And in my opinion, I feel like why he wants to put this on YouTube is because Netflix probably wouldn't let him put in certain things because of liability. I think this is one of the main reasons why some of the things weren't talked about in the Diddy documentary. But like I said, also, he is cut down to a certain amount of time. Netflix gave him 4 episodes, so he has to put everything in those 4 episodes. And she asked him, out of all of the people that were coming forward, have there been any new tips that you have gotten since it's been released? He said, well, yeah, everyone starts to feel a little more comfortable when they see other people telling their truth.
Jay-Z may have anticipated the spotlight shifting his way, but few were ready for the scale of revelations hinted at in 50 Cent's documentary series. The release sent shockwaves through the industry, with whispers that far more content exists and additional projects are already in motion. 50 Cent has publicly suggested that the behind-the-scenes archive is enormous, sparking speculation, tension, and serious conversations among hip-hop's most powerful figures. Whether all of it ever becomes public is unknown, but one thing is certain: the era of hidden backroom narratives is ending, and the industry is bracing for a reckoning.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know,
true.
he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the, you know, the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
Well, I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know
because of what some of the.
I mean,
back
you
and
know,
forth,
it's competition. You got to think 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole
50 was
sneaker
50
thing?
was always competition. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
The long-running tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has shaped the industry for years, defined by starkly different approaches to power and influence. While 50 faced resistance and setbacks, he consistently rebuilt himself, smarter, stronger, and more strategic, while old rivalries simmered in the background. Today, the conversation has shifted from personal conflict to legacy and impact, highlighting the true contrast. One relies on control and exclusivity, the other on resilience, growth, and lifting those around him, proving that real strength is measured by how many rise with you.
And Piers Morgan said it, they're not here to defend themselves. Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this? About
Beyonce
what's going on?
is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day, and she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me. I'm trying to move beyond Diddy. I'm love now.
What kind of love? Baby oil love? Baby love? Explicit love, hey!
rumours have long swirled about elite circles, seeing more than the public ever knows. But what really drives the conversation is the silence surrounding power. Tales of private meetings, blurred lines, and unspoken knowledge raise questions about accountability and influence at the industry's highest levels. Whether through loyalty, caution, or self-preservation, some stayed close while controversies unfolded, choosing discretion over action. As scrutiny intensifies, attention is moving beyond sensational claims toward a deeper look at how influence, silence, and responsibility collide when fame shields the truth and power tests character.
I know people in the industry, been around for a long time, was there when he first started dating Beyoncé at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. When I look back and see how old Jay-Z was, I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67. Something like a 67 right there. 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they said she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene's. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18 years old. If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6-7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know.
What unsettles many is the bigger conversation about power, influence, and how young talent is shaped in an industry where boundaries often blur. Long-standing rumours and insider accounts have fueled debates about control, imbalance, and environments that normalise questionable choices over time. When success comes early under the guidance of powerful figures, perspectives are shaped in ways that are hard to undo. As these discussions resurface, the focus moves away from individuals and onto the system itself, one that too often values fame and protection over accountability, leaving a lasting imprint on how influence is learned, wielded, and repeated.
Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Yeah. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. Well, what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
To grasp the full weight of the situation, many point to how young artists like Beyoncé were introduced into environments shaped by immense influence and unchecked authority, where protection often took a back seat to ambition. High-profile names have become part of these conversations not as targets, but as symbols of a system that repeatedly failed to safeguard emerging talent. As scrutiny intensifies, anxiety grows among industry elites, not from rumours, but because transparency could unleash countless untold stories. When that moment comes, it won't be about individual blame alone, but about confronting a culture that lets silence, imbalance, and control dominate for far too long.
Kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s.
Did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It was probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean? It definitely was some snake shit.
Gene noted that both men understood power, influence, and leverage long before the public noticed, but their approaches couldn't have been more different. One thrived in the spotlight, bold, visible, and relentless, while the other moved with calculated precision, operating behind closed doors, in boardrooms, and through carefully crafted networks. By staying away from spectacle and close to institutional power, he positioned himself where control was subtle, protection was strategic, and influence could be wielded without ever drawing attention, even when the stakes became unpredictable.
Point of view, because I know you heard the statement that, Jay lawyer came out with about how he wasn't really friends with Diddy. From your point of view, was they really friends or no?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
Gene explained that this is exactly why Jay-Z rarely appears in vulnerable or risky situations. His strategy has always been deliberate and controlled. While Diddy grew his empire through constant visibility, social presence, and showing up everywhere, Jay-Z chose the opposite path, building influence by limiting access, keeping distance, and striking only when it mattered. One relied on exposure and connection, the other on restraint and precision, proving that power can be amassed just as effectively through silence and separation as through visibility and reach.
Lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
That's right. To us, black excellence.
that had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brush.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's right.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those
Wondering what you're
Those
talking
fucking
about.
trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammy.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. He got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures with him like things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades, because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
If there was one misstep in Jay-Z's otherwise precise ascent, it was aligning too closely with the wrong circle, a connection now under renewed scrutiny. Alliances once seen as strategic are being re-evaluated as public attention shifts, and old relationships come under a harsher spotlight. What once seemed mutually beneficial is now questioned for its long-term impact, showing that even the most carefully constructed empires can bear the weight of past choices when circumstances change and accountability comes into play.
Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations. And that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and try to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on.
Placing trust in the wrong ally may have been the costliest mistake for those involved, as relationships once grounded in mutual benefit now unravel under pressure. Loyalty has turned into liability, with fallout reaching even the professional circles meant to provide protection and stability. As scrutiny intensifies, one pattern emerges: self-preservation above all else, no matter who gets caught in the crossfire. In moments like these, alliances fracture, reputations are tested, and the full weight of misplaced trust becomes impossible to ignore.
Yo, man, how 50 get? Blah, blah, blah. Yo, Puff, take this self doing that. Let me explain something to y'all. All right? Whether it's NDAs, whether it's whatever. When these young boys come in, first of all, he only deal with young videographers because he want to rob them, and he know that they want the opportunity to follow Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. They want that opportunity. So they get him at a low price anyway. But when you stay out so many hours a day, Puff wants a videographer with him 24 hours a day on call. Whether we on a yacht, whether we on a ship, wherever we at, he wants to videotape that, right? So now, they come to agreement. They come to whatever the pay is going to be. But then it be so many hours on that invoice that he don't want to pay. He gets in touch with the office. He gets in touch with the chief of staff. Yo, what is this I'm paying? What is this I'm paying? You know what you paying. You was outside all of these hours. It's 160 something hours in a week. You was outside 140. That's the invoice he put in. So now, being if you got a contract and he don't stand to that contract, guess what happens? He could do whatever he want to do with that footage. So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get this is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
I'm like, it's just odd to see him in that, getting looked at in that way by white people. Like Jay does, yeah, like I hope that shit didn't happen, but I'm like, damn, they turned the world real. Like people on a certain level have been fucking with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. Like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. But like, drink champs can't get him out of this one, and neither can Charlemagne. Because, those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he does anyway. So he got to get to People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now because they on his head. But the question is why? Like, why now? Because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. You're not going to win. Let's get a deposition or something. So I don't know why they on his head so much. Pause. But I never seen him, under this, I never seen him in this position to have to explain himself. Pause.
How you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, like I said, for me, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him. If he is innocent, he needs to let people ask him questions, and he needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk. Because that lawyer, I don't trust that lawyer because I went to court with him.
Reports indicate attempts to block a recently released documentary, with questions raised about how certain material was obtained and whether it should ever see the light of day. In response, sources insist all content came from legitimate channels, part of a long-planned project that stalled due to internal disputes. What began as a disagreement over ownership and compensation ultimately allowed outside involvement, turning unused material into a powerful storytelling force. As these behind-the-scenes conflicts resurface, the situation underscores how unresolved business decisions and fractured partnerships can unexpectedly shift control over stories once thought private.
Crossing that secret little Diddy footage that he paid from the videographer that Diddy didn't pay, they are saying 50 has footage that will not only add more time to Diddy's sentence, but Diddy might not ever come out. Listen up, check this out. Now y'all know that footage that where Diddy is behind the scenes talking to his lawyer and all of this stuff, and people are like, damn, what was Diddy recording it? Well, Diddy was recording it because he thought he was about to beat the case, so he wanted to do a Netflix documentary. Didn't pay the guy, and then 50 got all 140 hours of footage of secret Diddy tactics. Well, there's a guy named Neil who was mentioned in the court, works right up under Diddy, was organizing everything. Allegedly, they are saying that he is on video, film, tampering with witnesses, giving out addresses, offering money, bribing, we'll pay for your lawyers, all kind of shit that could be counted as witness tampering, obstruction of justice. And 50, of all people, has his hands on this footage. And I'm hearing that this could implicate Diddy's lawyers in some bullshit. They could be charged. This is getting wild. And I'm hearing that this 50 Cent documentary is just the tip of the iceberg. And I like it.
What's crazy is this man in this video footage of 50 Cent's post starts talking about a specific name, a man named Neil. And this man goes on talking about how he heard that 50 Cent has this extra footage, but it's footage that could possibly lead to Diddy getting more charges, like witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and more. And what's crazy about the name Neil that he brings up in this is the fact that the other day, Diddy's former chef Jordan, who is somebody that was a witness during this trial, who was about to testify against Diddy before the prosecution took back some of their witnesses who were testifying, literally claimed that Neil Dominique, a former assistant of Diddy, is the one that told Diddy that she was subpoenaed to the grand jury at the very start of all of this. She wrote this whole big post to Neil Dominique and tagged him in it and said, "I just want to put this out there because I've been debating how I wanted to handle the situation. Now, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm really wondering why you decided to tell Sean Combs that I was contacted by the feds. I saw that you wrote him a good character letter too. Come to find out, you were actually providing Puff with information on a whole bunch of people throughout the case. So my thing is, why were you so comfortable putting me in danger? Why were you so comfortable putting other people in danger? You provided addresses to him. Were you like a double agent working for the feds and Puff?" This is actually crazy because she alleged that Neil Dominique was approached by the feds as well in this investigation into Diddy because he was a former assistant of Diddy.
Speculation is mounting that the documentary's release could trigger a turning point, forcing significant personal and professional recalibration behind the scenes. For years, Beyoncé has meticulously safeguarded her reputation, rebuilding public trust and maintaining a commanding, polished brand through challenges that might have toppled others. She has navigated past turbulence with stability and resilience, choosing control over reaction. Now, sources suggest this moment carries a different weight, one that could spark a decisive reset, driven not by scandal, but by the imperative to protect her legacy, independence, and long-term vision.